21 reasons why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet. Let's get started. Reason number 1, you're not eating high protein meals frequently enough. So by eating high protein meals 4 to 5 times a day instead of just 3 regular meals a day, well, you're gonna increase the amount of time you're getting and increasing your blood amino acid levels. So although it's not really well understood how muscle protein synthesis occurs and whether the window of opportunity is only 3 hours or more, depending on what you eat, well, it's just best to cover all bases and eat as frequently as you can with high protein meals. And by doing this and splitting up your meals into kind of smaller meals 4 to 5 times a day instead of 3 bigger meals, well, you're splitting up the calories, so you're not having really large meals that you can't finish. Instead, you're having smaller meals that are a lot more palatable, that you can eat a lot easier, and it's a lot easier to finish. So I would recommend having high protein meals 4 to 5 times a day, and well, you're splitting up your protein, so you're more likely to get it in and hit your macros for that day. Also, you get to eat more often, and who doesn't want that? The second reason why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you're not tracking your vitamin D intake. The term vitamin D refers to the organic chemical compound cholecalciferol. The hormonally active form of this actually regulates calcium and phosphate homeostasis, as well as skeletal muscle metabolism and other physiological processes throughout the body. So as you can see, this is quite an important chemical compound. There are 2 forms of vitamin D, vitamin D3, which you can get from animal sources, and vitamin D2, which you can get from plant sources. And you'll be pleased to know you can ingest and assimilate both of these both equally through dietary means. So from this information I've just given you, I don't know if you guys can see, but it can have its issues. If you live in a climate where you're not getting a lot of sunlight exposure, well, this process is going to be diminished, and if you're not getting it from your diet, well, then you're going to be deficient in vitamin D, and this is going to have a lot of physiological side effects that are going to diminish your athletic performance. If you think you're fine and don't need to worry about vitamin D at all, maybe you walk outside a lot or live somewhere sunny, well, a recent systematic study of over 2,000 athletes with a mean age of 22 found that 56% of them were vitamin D insufficient. This means they weren't making enough vitamin D to an optimal serum level amount where they could actually get athletic performance benefits. And these were actual athletes with nutritionists, and us everyday people, well, we need to be tracking this. Now, moving quickly on, reason number 3 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you're not in a calorie surplus. Now, although it is possible to gain muscle in a calorie deficit, it is a lot easier in a calorie surplus, but you do need to be careful about how much fat you're putting on, because some of these calories and surplus of energy will be converted into fat stores, so you do need to be aware of this. However, some of us are hard gainers or have a really high metabolism, maybe we move a lot, we have very active days, you will need to increase your calories so you're in a surplus, so you're gaining more muscle mass. So that's the third tip, make sure you're on a calorie surplus if you've tried being in a deficit before and that's not been working. The fourth reason why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you don't have a meal plan. So if you don't have a meal plan, what's going to happen is you're going to get hungry, you're going to go to the kitchen, you're going to want to make food, and you're going to make last minute decisions that probably won't follow the path or won't be conducive to optimizing muscle growth. So you're just going to make something quick, maybe something easy, or maybe you only have a certain amount of things in because you didn't think ahead and now you can't make a certain meal. So by having a meal plan, you get rid of all of these issues, you know what you have to get. So I do a weekly meal plan. So for that week, I know what I have to buy. It makes food shopping a lot easier, so you know what you have to buy and you don't have to do any last minute decision making. You already know what you have to make, and these are all going to be following the path to optimizing muscle gains, and you know you'll be hitting your macros if you follow this meal plan. So guys, if you don't already have a vegan bulking meal plan, I've made one, and if you watch the end of this video or click into the description, there will be a link to that, so watch that if you haven't already, because I've got a meal plan just for you. The fifth reason why you're not gaining or putting on muscle mass on a vegan diet is because you're not eating kiwis. Wait guys, I know it sounds weird, but hear me out. Kiwis have been found to have a plethora of medicinal compounds that have a wide range of useful effects, some of these being antioxidants and some of these increasing serotonin and sleep. Even in this bit of literature here, where subjects consumed 2 kiwis 1 hour before bed, they found huge increases in the total time and sleep efficiency. So, but maybe by having kiwis or maybe some other kind of supplement or food type, you can increase your sleep. And also in other studies, it has been shown that of course getting a great amount of sleep is beneficial for compound lists, strength and overall health and motivation. And having inadequate sleep is obviously going to hinder all of these things that are going to help you put on muscle when you're on a vegan diet. So you want to find these things that help you sleep, because sleep is super important. Reason number 6 why you're not putting on muscle on a vegan diet is because you don't have a food scale. So guys, although you might have a meal plan, you might know your macros and everything, you've sorted all that out. Guys, if you don't have a food scale, you won't be able to track things accurately. You'll be guessing grams and weights. I know I've been there where I haven't had one and I've been guessing, I think that's about 5 grams. Guys, you know, that's a recipe of disaster. I invested in a food scale and you guys should too. Reason number 7 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you're not eating whole foods. So guys, I aim to get 70 to 80% of the meals I'm having in a week to be completely whole foods. So trust me guys, it's going to be way better and more conducive to building muscle on a vegan diet compared to having more of the more processed oven meals, chips, things like that. Opt for more like having potato wedges and sweet potato over putting chips in the oven if you can, noodles and rice over other things that you just shove in the oven. So guys, please focus on the whole foods meals if you're trying to gain muscle on a vegan diet. Reason number 8 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you don't have a body weight scale. So guys, of course, if we want our muscle mass to go up, we need to be monitoring our weight because these two things are very closely related. So you want to be getting a weighing scale that you trust and that is accurate, and then weighing yourself under the same conditions, so the same time of day, for example. So guys, if you're trying to gain muscle mass, get a nice scale, maybe one that also tracks body fat and stuff. This it's not going to be the most accurate thing if you're getting those kind of scales, but it can be nice to have and can be motivating. But guys, just get a nice body weight scale. Reason number 9 why you're not gaining and putting on muscle on a vegan diet is because you're not eating kale, broccoli and spinach with every meal. So guys, for myself, I try and aim to either have broccoli and spinach at least with every meal, and sometimes I'll throw in kale because kale is it's a bit kind of, but anyway guys, you want to be having these green leafy vegetables with every meal. I also like pak choy, throw those in some stir fries, have them in every meal. But guys, you really want to focus on some of these green leafy vegetables because for some of these micronutrients they have different bioavailability. For example, for iron, you have heme iron and you have non-heme iron. Heme iron is found in animal products and then non-heme iron is found in plant products. And of course, we're not getting the heme iron, so we need to be focusing on non-heme, but this is less bioavailable, so it's harder for your body to absorb. So guys, we need to be focusing on these green leafy vegetables, increasing the frequency at which we're having them to ensure we're not iron deficient and not getting anemic. So guys, green leafy vegetables, every meal, job done. Reason number 10 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet, and you're gonna hate me for saying this, but it's because you're not drinking enough water. Guys, when you go to the loo, if that's not coming out clear, I'm gonna class that as dehydrated. That's the rule I set for myself, and that's how I know and set the bar for if I'm drinking enough water. If it's not coming out clear, then I'm dehydrated. That's how I'm taking it. So I'm gonna be avoiding cramps, I'm gonna be optimizing my athletic performance by getting enough hydration in and then fueling all these biological processes that are going on in and throughout the body. So guys, I'm sure you guys have heard this said everywhere now, stay hydrated, drink your water, and well, that's just another reason that you need to be focusing on to gain muscle on a vegan diet. Reason number 11 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you're waking up too late in the day. By waking up early, you can kind of spread out the amount of meals you're having because you have more time in the day. So you're going to be feeling less full before your next meal. So guys, this is my main tip for people who are trying to put on muscle and get in those meals that are high protein, so you're hitting your calories and gaining that protein, hitting those macros, is by waking up earlier so you have more time to get in those frequent meals. Reason number 12 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you don't have a vegan recipe book. So this one is similar to not having a meal plan. So if you don't have any recipes, well, you're gonna get pretty bored with your diet, and then you're gonna start making random stuff. You're gonna start making quick last minute decisions because you don't really like something. So guys, by having a recipe book that you actually like the recipes in it, you're gonna find and get more adventurous in the kitchen and start enjoying your meals. And then you're gonna have this in your meal plan. Follow your meal plan. It's gonna be nice adventurous meals that also hit your macros, and you're gonna be all good. Reason number 13 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you're not being consistent with your meals. So guys, this reason is actually going to go against the last one, reason 12, which was about having a recipe book. If you have too many different foods and meals you're having, in the long run this might actually hold you back, because over a week you might have to be cooking and spending a lot of time in the kitchen, more than you'd like to, preparing all these new meals that you haven't made before. You're going to be spending a lot of time reading a recipe book. So maybe sometimes it's nice to throw in a new adventurous meal, but make sure your meals are consistent. So it might be better if you have a small pool of meals that you know will hit your macros, and you throw these into your meal plan, and then every now and again use that recipe book and throw in a fresh new meal to keep it interesting. But don't always be throwing in new meals. Try and keep it consistent. Reason number 14 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you're not having protein before bed. So this one is more of a personal one for me, because I've always had high protein meals and protein supplements right before bed, and this has always worked out well for me because I don't feel very hungry right before I go to bed, so I get a nice good sleep. I don't wake up in the middle of the night wanting to go into the kitchen, maybe make some toast. I don't get any of that because I'm always having some kind of protein, either a protein shake or high protein meal right before bed, maybe an hour or so before I go to sleep, and this keeps me sustained throughout the night, and of course we're fueling muscle protein synthesis those hours where we're asleep. So guys, I'd recommend have protein a little bit before bed. Reason number 15 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you don't have a favorite sauce. So guys, I'm not talking about your favorite outfit, and vegan or not, sometimes some meals can be pretty boring or get pretty boring. So guys, I'm talking more like ketchup, spicy mayo, sriracha, Tabasco, ranch, whatever it is, salad dressing, whatever is your favorite sauce, you want to have one that you can put onto some meals that are getting a bit dry, a bit old, and you just put that on it and it becomes one of your favorite meals. So guys, experiment with sauces because they're really underrated. Reason number 16 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you're buying too many snacks. So guys, we want meals, not snacks. And I'll say that again, we want meals, not snacks. So snacks are just meant to tide you over till the next meal. But guys, we're trying to aim to get 4 to 5 frequent meals throughout the day. So if we're snacking, we're not really going to want to eat those large meals. If you don't buy them, you won't have it, so you can't snack on it. So literally, I don't buy crisps anymore. I've stopped buying biscuits. I only buy stuff for my meals. And when I'm hungry, I'll just either make a meal, or if I can't make a meal, I'll just have some fruit or nuts to tide me over till my next meal. So that's my tip, guys. Don't buy too many snacks, focus on meals. We want meals, not snacks. Reason number 17 why you're not getting muscle on a vegan diet is because you're not using Cronometer. So what is Cronometer? Well, it's just an app or website, and you can scan food items that you actually have in real life, and then you can see the actual breakdown. So of course you can see the macros, so the protein, fat and carbohydrates, which most food trackers can do, but Cronometer and probably a few others can do. It looks at the micronutrients, so you can see the vitamin A, the B12 of all the little food items you're having, so you can see in a day if you're hitting those. So this really helped me out when I was first going vegan, understanding what food items were high in what. Reason number 18 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you're not using leucine focused protein powder. So try and get a nice good brand of vegan protein powder. However, you want this to be focused on the amino acid leucine because this is a fundamental amino acid for building muscles. So make sure it's a leucine focused protein powder and just have this from time to time. Reason number 19 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you're not using a training program or you're not training correctly. So guys, of course we need to apply a stimulus to our body so our body knows to start building muscle, because if there's no stimulus, our body doesn't react and build muscle. This means we have to be training in the right way, using resistance training, calisthenics, whatever it is, but you want to be training in the right way to build muscle and break down muscle fibers. So guys, make sure you're using a training program that is focused on hypertrophy, not strength. If strength is your goal, yeah, go for strength, but if muscle building is your goal, go for a hypertrophy program. I have a few calisthenics ones for you if you don't have one, but look around, find one that suits you and start working on your training program. Reason 20 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you're not motivated. So guys, there are different ways of doing this. Look online for some motivational videos, that might work for you, or make a mood board with all the things you want and look at that. I call that a vision board. It's something I do for all the things I want to achieve, all my goals. I put it on a vision board and I look at that, and that motivates me. So try different things to motivate yourself, but guys, stay motivated, watch the channel. We will help you out and keep you going and gain muscle on a vegan diet. Reason 21 why you're not gaining muscle on a vegan diet is because you haven't watched this video fully explaining my journey and how I was able to bulk up and gain mass on a vegan diet, also explaining tips on how you can as well. So guys, I'll see you there.